Now it's been put on. I just would came to a sudden abrupt halt. I don't know if you'd like me to give you a song. I don't think you would because you kind of want the songs that I sing and you didn't really like them. I found that picture. Mind, I was asking you the last time I saw you if you had a picture of that guy that got murdered at Hamburg. That manager guy that I was singing at the Christmas party in the lake. Well, I found that picture. Some devil has taken him out. I don't know if it's you, son. All this stuff's been shoved in the back room in plastic bags. And that's where I found the picture. And nobody here will own up to doing such a dastardly deed. You see. So I thought Graham was actually got to give you music on this side of the tape. But he's left me to do all the talking. So I don't kind of can speak for a few minutes, but I can't go on for half an hour. I'm not like your mother. I mean, she goes out for a minute and she's standing on the stoop for half an hour talking to the woman next door if I'm lucky. My dinner's all burning on the stove. Yeah. Of course, I could go and switch it off myself, but I can't. I mean, I'm the man of the house. The man of the house doesn't do such a thing. But I'm glad, I mean, I can't make a record in the bath like you do, because this tape recorder, I didn't believe in having electrical objects in the bath. Because, you know, if they fall in the water, you get rather a nasty shock. Not that you would feel it, mind, but you do get a nasty shock. As you would know, water's a very good conductor. I used to ken a guy called Jimmy Water. He was a conductor in the buses. Yeah, he used to be between the post office and Portobello. Jimmy Water, didn't ken, he might be dead now. He was about 60 at that time. I was only 14. So actually now he would be about 114 if he was still living. That was his name, Jimmy Water. I was just talking about water. Ken, water's under the bridge. Used to say that. Ken, if he drove the tram car under a bridge, we just said that was water under the bridge. You ken the feeling when you say things like, I mean, I'm just talking a lot of nonsense now and I'm quite sober. I'm not allowed to drink a drop of alcohol. I'm not allowed to take a touch of sugar. And I'm not allowed to smoke. So you see, I lead rather a dull life. I have actually had special permission to have a glass of champagne at the garage before I went on leave. And I had one at Christmas time. And I had one at the wedding we went to. When, what's her name? May's daughter got married. I had a glass of champagne then. But see my miserable face. Everybody's drunk and I'm as sober as a judge. You can. I used to ken a guy called Jimmy Judge too. He wasn't a judge, but he was never ever sober. That guy was in a pub playing dominoes every time I went in. Which was, well, I had my times, you can. But I think your mother better come and speak, just fill in the space here, because I'm just talking a lot of nonsense. Like, you must ask me a question and I'll answer it. Ask me something difficult. We were playing Trivial Pursuit with Rose's mum and dad on Tuesday. Tuesday was a holiday here. And we were playing Trivial Pursuit. And Evelyn and I won the brains of South Africa, and you've got the brain of Britain. And we're the brains of Rudyport. So we won, we beat Rose's old man and mother again in this Trivial Pursuit game. Of course, we were answering the questions on entertainment. And you ken me, that's my favourite topic. So if you've got that game sometime when we come home, we'll play it. If not, buy it and we'll play it, you see. Because you'll find I'm quite a genius. Anyway, I don't care what else to say because the tape just seems to go on and on and on. The words just can't come out my mouth. Not that they can come out anywhere else, you can, but we'll not dwell on that subject. I don't know why. You'll tell your old gran that I'm asking for a you'll let her hear this tape. And tell her not to cheat her patience. Or the dominoes, you got to keep your eye on a woman. Especially if you're playing for money. She's an awful woman, you can. Didn't turn your back. Didn't go to the toilet. Or else, that's your money gone. That's, I suppose you're playing for about £5 a time. Or what you might say, £1. You see, there's rand now. There's £4 to the pound, 4 comma something to the pound. It's ridiculous. So, as I say, you'll need to send us a money parcel so we can buy food. Ken, food's getting awfully expensive. You see these tins, the dog food. Oh dear, it costs us a fortune every week. costs us a fortune for the dogs as well. You can. And when that dog food's quite nice, as long as you didn't let it sit in the tin for too long. It gets a fishy sort of smell about it. Yeah, it goes fine if you mix it in with the tatties. But like I say, that's getting a wee bit expensive as well. There's only put the best stuff in there. Some of these big lumps of jelly it comes out. It's actually the stuff that's got the jelly we'll have for our pudding the next day. You know what I mean? Times are hard, really. We've never been up to Sun City for a while because I've not been driving. I've not been walking so well. Actually, it's been about 6 months, 5 months since I walked. You know, and when you can't walk and you can't see where you're going if you can walk anyway, it's terrible. You know, you just keep bumping into people, and then you bump into people you didn't can. Usually if you bump into folk you can, you're bumping into. If you follow the gist of the conversation, but you see, I must just talk and keep filling up this tape. Your mother just tapped my leg with her finger, and I just about hit the ceiling. You know, my legs are so sore, the nerve. What actually happens is sugar settles in the nervous system, and it is very tender. Now, here's your mother pulling this microphone out of my hand. Get your piss up, get you.
I think he thinks he's Dr. Finlay. But something's went wrong. No. I thought it wasn't. You?
No, why?
Well, how do you? Oh, I see.
It must be you see, you're having pauses now.
I had to let your dad stop for a breather because he'll be running out of breath and collapsing in 1 minute. What has he been going on about anyway? He said he couldn't think what to say and he's done nothing but yap, 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 yap. I mean, we were going to send this music back to you so you knew what you were to record for Graham, but I see we're now recording on it. Anyway, here's your dad. He's stealing it back for me. Okay, bye.
Have you not said bye already to him?
Ah, but I told him I would say it again.
But he didn't just keep saying, well, that's another few seconds filled up, but you keep saying goodbye.
You don't have to fill the whole thing up.
No, your mother mentioned Dr. Cameron and Dr. Finlay. He used to say, hi, Dr. Cameron. Sorry, that's Dr. Cameron tongue. He used to say, hi, Dr. Finlay. He used to speak like that. You can't through his throat. Dr. Finlay, there's a case I'd like to go for you, go see. And you remember that woman that used to be in it? I can't mind, Janet, I think she was called. And she used to say, hi, Dr. Finlay, Dr. Cameron wants to see you, if you wouldn't mind going. Dr. Cameron would say, oh, be quiet, woman, you can. Well, you see, that's you can again. But I mean, they've just left me on my own to speak. And you know, I didn't speak for half an hour. I'm not one like the Thompson family. They can talk and talk and talk. Oh, I better not say that. I take that back, I'm only joking. Yeah, you can let them all hear this, just for a laugh. I don't know if I told you, but you'll tell everybody I'm asking for them. Bobby and Nan, and do you ever see Bill and Milda nowadays? Oh, you wouldn't see them, they're doing in Newcastle or something. They were taking calls down there, were they taking calls to Newcastle, something like that. Was it Newcastle he was going to? Anyway, I kinda went down to England somewhere. So you'll never see them unless they come up. I mean, distances are... There used to be a vast distance between Edinburgh and Newcastle, but when you look at it, it's only about 100 miles. Which is nothing, it's just a short hop. You know what I mean? Anyway, any trouble with your car, don't ask me, because I don't ken now. These cars, they've got computers in them and everything, the Fords. Over here, these Fords are getting very complicated. And yeah, again, in a few years, you'll have to go to the university to be a motor mechanic. I'm telling you that, the way the computers are going. What they shove under that bonnet is unbelievable. Unless you open the bonnet and look, you would never believe it. It's a scientist's dream. You can. Anyway, I don't know much what else to say. It's awfully cold here now, and the trees are bare, they're unclad, you know, and our peaches are rotten now. They're not coming on. We used to get thousands of peaches off of that tree, but now you get 2 or 3 and they're all black inside. Like what the darkies are, you know, they're black. They've got black spots, and oh, I don't know what to do. I'll need to go and see the man at the market garden and get a wee bit of advice for him. I just hope he's not darky there. Yeah, I didn't want to insult him with calling my peaches black. Or I think over there you call them plurals. Is that it? Everybody's a plural. Aye. Over here the people are singular. Yeah, singular is opposite of plural. So that's another couple of minutes I've managed to talk a lot of nonsense. Evelyn just went away and deserted me. You see, your mother now, she's got TV-itis. She gets in at night and makes my supper and that's it. Never see her. Television this, television that, television. She even sings to the epilogue when that's finished. You know, you want to hear her. Really, Afrikaans as well. Oh, she's television. I've got the television beside my bed. I put it on top of her cover so she can just switch it off and watch it just when she likes. Yeah, first thing in the morning she'll get the wee bit prayer again for 5 minutes. Then she's got to go to her work. Whenever she comes in though, that's the television on again, and well, you can't get a word in sideways. You can't compete with the television. You cannot. But it's certainly improved out here now because we've got this other Mnet channel your mother's probably written about. It's a pay television. You pay every month and you show you some of the latest pictures, the ones that have been made lately in about 1980 or something like that. But to you I don't suppose that's one of the later pictures. But anyway, they have to pay, oh, it's about 30 rand, which is about £7 a month now. £7-8 a month, which is quite reasonable, and you do get a show about 3 films a day, and the live sport, the boxing matches, kind of live for America and things like that. It's quite entertaining. Of course, then your mother doesn't watch. You know, she doesn't really like getting up at 3 in the morning and watching the boxing match. I've often talked to her, but no, she's not asleep at that time. But it's quite a good service, and we've got the TV one, we've still got Bop, TV3, TV4 for the darkies. That stops now at 9 o'clock. And then you get a white service on from 9 to hours, 11:30 at night, hours, you know. But that's for the whites. They did away with the darkies after 9. They thought, well, that was enough, you know. The darkies would rather see the white programmes, the stuff they send for America, all these comedies and detective things. So I think Graham was going to send you a stupid thing on that videotape. Beauty and the Beast. That, I'm telling you, is a load of rubbish. But Graham insists on sending this. And maybe you've had it over there, but it is terrible in my opinion. It is one of the worst programmes you've ever seen on the television. It's a good monster. And where do you ever see a good monster? Yeah, long fingernails and great teeth sticking out his mouth. But Graham likes it. Evelyn wouldn't miss anything. So they just keep watching it. So I say, I'll have a lonely life. I just go to my bed, lie on the couch. I watch the occasional thing for say 5 o'clock to 11, you know, and just keep myself going. But never again a word. They can have that's Evelyn. We're beginning to forget whoever's name it is in the house. You know, I say, oh, it's the television that long. You sit there, look at her, you say, who's that sitting there? A stranger could come in and sit beside you, and you would say, oh, who's this guy? I better not ask him, I might be off ignorant if I forgot who it is. Somebody I ken. If I ask him his name, he might be hurt. That's the way it goes with the television these days. Just, your mother's watching that stupid programme now, Hawaii 5-0. It was on in 19 Canteen. It used to be on the telly before we came here. This Mnet, you know, you get a free 2 hours, I think, from 5 o'clock to 7 in the evening, when anybody can watch it. But you see, you have to have a decoder to watch the rest of the programmes. But on these open times, put the rubbish of the day. It is really terrible. I feel like writing to them, but I don't really feel like writing to them when you come to think of it. Maybe I'll get Ella to write, Auntie Ella likes She likes writing letters. So just mention that to Ella, would you? That I'd like her to write to him and ask why they're putting all that rubbish on at 5 o'clock to 7. In fact, she could phone them if it wasn't so far away. I didn't even get the number. But that's about all I can say. And I don't kind of Graham's put music on this side and I'm talking over it. Because I'm certainly no singing. But I suppose your mother told you, well, you'd hear it on the telly, the bomb, that they're okay. Yeah, Blue Three Darkies. Blue, I don't want to be gory, but I believe one of the person's head and legs was blown right off. Ended up the other side of the street. I don't know if that was one of the Darkies or whether it was a kid. There was a woman killed. I think it was a woman actually. But that's the way it goes. You can't stop these devils, but as I say to everybody, they've been fighting like this in Ireland for hundreds of years and it solves nothing. So eventually the darkies will get in their wee bit share of power, if no other power. Then when they live next to me, that's Evelyn and I coming back over there. But we need to get flats. I mean, you kind of, we've got used to the weather here, this is the thing. And I don't know, you can, if it lasts more than one winter, it's really a bit colder there for us South African sort of brought up folk. We've got used to this, but everyone wants to come back anyway in 1990, sorry. And as I say, I want to go to Australia for a wee while just to see my brother. So when I retire, I don't know how much money I'll get. For you, I don't care. You maybe pay my fare to Australia, could you do that? And I'll pay you back sometime. I'll sell you something. I don't care what I can sell you, be if in interest. I can sell you a clock. Got plenty of clocks in the house. Well, one that doesn't go, but it looks nice, and I want to take it down off the wall. And everyone said it's a load of rubbish, clocks that didn't go. But it's such a nice clock, you can just put the light out, nobody can see it anyway. You don't care what the time is. So here's Evelyn come running through. She's wanting the microphone again.
Graham says I must come and tell you, Andrew, the next time you have to send a 120, whatever, tape, so that Dad can fill it up to send it back to you. Graham says we'll need at least a 91. He's going on that much.
Oh, well, I'm going on to fill the thing in. You better sit here and just join in the conversation. So
I'm watching Hawaii 5-0, that rotten programme he keeps going on about. I think your dad talked a load of tripe, is he? Can you answer me right now? Now.
What, me?
No, your dad. No, Andrew and Rosie.
Me? I didn't ken. Right, can you just stop that and rewind it?
I don't know how to do it.
I want to hear what I've said, I forgot. Oh, ask Graham then. Ask Graham to come through and rewind this. I just can't remember what I was saying. And I'm just talking a load of nonsense. But you know when you're talking about a tape, you get one of these wee skinny half-hour tapes, son. I thought you might have sent us a great reel-to-reel thing and give us a right story of your life about your work and all that. And the only thing is, I've no... Hey, what happened to my reel-to-reel tape recorder? You devil, you borrowed it. The one you gave me. You remember? I never ever got it back. If you still got it, send it over. Ken, my old granddad doesn't go now. Can't blame it, mind. It's a wee bit old for actually. I think it's probably seized up. It wouldn't go at all when I press the buttons. Right, son, you just put that back.
Get you for 20 odd years.
Right, I'm back again now, Andrew. Your mother's went away and left me all on my own here again. She's away. She just come rushing through to tell me that the fat man's on the television. I don't know if you get the fat man over there on your television, but she says there's a fat man on the television here, but I can't see there. I said, where you go? She said, when you stop for a minute to speak, I must go back and see the fat man. And I can't even mind what it is. It's a fat man and somebody. No Batman, fat man. Anyway, she says, away through what's on and left me here talking myself again. And she says, I do go on. Well, look, I'll say cheerio now, because if I'm speaking when this thing stops, I'll not be able to say cheerio, you see. So I didn't ken when it stops unless when it gives a click. But I can't, if it clicks, I can't say cheerio, it's too late then, so I'll say cheerio. And how's Rosie doing? I heard Rosie talking on the tape you sent us. She's getting rather Scottish. I heard her using the word scooshed. Something's scooshed. That is not a South African word. I'm positive you've been teaching her the Scottish tongue. I can't remember when she said it's something scooshed over. But right, Rosie? You'll need to use some more of that Scottish tongue when you send us another tape. But it's very nice when you've got that little tang. It's very attractive. If you notice in my speech, the Scottish tang still come through after all these years in South Africa. I do still speak a biggie Afrikaans, then again with my Scottish accent. My doctor's name, by the way, is Dr. Buta, and he's a well-read person. He's the heart specialist, you know, but he seems to know everything. He's very good. And now he keeps reading stories, like the miners, you can A.J. Cronin stories, miners are there, and the Citadel about the doctor and things like that. I call him Dr. McButa now when I see him. I say, is that you, Dr. McButa? And he calls Evelyn. There's not much as much, you know, it's Evelyn. Yeah, well, you stick that needle in your husband's stomach and didn't miss one night, you know, with the insulin stuff. So Evelyn, we've got it cut right down. She does sticks this needle in my stomach in the morning and I never feel it. Really, and I'm dieting, you know, I've not got that much fat that she can stick the needle into. But really, she's quite a good nurse. I just call her about 5:45 in the morning. I say, nurse, would you give me an injection, please? I'm feeling a bit dizzy now. And she just pops over and gives me this injection. It's rather nice. However, I thought, you know, if you stick a needle in your stomach, it was a wee bit, you can. The doctor in the hospital, he said to Evelyn, he says, now you have to do this. And Evelyn says, oh no, I can't do that, she says. So the doctor grabbed her arum and stuck the syringe in it, and he pushed the arum into my stomach with a syringe. He says, now that's what you do, it's easy, isn't it? And I'm lying there in my bed thinking, it's awfully easy for you folk, but that needle's gone in my stomach. You know, of course it's necessary because it's to get rid of the sugar, you've got to pump insulin in. But I think this is just, like I said on the phone, I think it's a temporary thing. I ate that much stuff in Durban. There was just sugar. Kind of the song was sugar. You know, and it just gets into your veins and it clogs the whole blasted system up. You can stick a needle in my tea, it's just sugar, you can put it in your tea, and it just come out in wee tiny holes in my teas. My stomach's full of holes. You see my fingers? They stick a needle in the end of my finger every time they have to check the blood content. You know, they've got a machine and they take the blood out your finger. And I've got 10 bloody fingers. Yeah, they're all full of holes. When I say 10 bloody fingers, I don't mean 10 bloody fingers. I mean 10 bloody fingers. And they keep testing the blood. They've got a machine that tells you what the actual number is, like I mentioned before. Doctor says to me, you want to buy one of these? It's 500 rand. He says, didn't go anywhere else. He says, I'm the only one that sells them. And he's got a pen that he puts in his pocket, and you give yourself an injection with this thing. And he says, if you want to buy one of them, come to me because I'm the sole distributor. You see, I think he makes a wee bit on the side of selling these pens. But I'm waiting on the bill for the hospital for the insulin. They tell me it's very expensive. And I've had about 100 gallons of this stuff into my stomach all the time. Oh, and you can, when I was in the clinic there, it was a Flora clinic. At night, there was two night nurses come on, you know, and 10, my dinny hen, well, that was 10 standing on my tees, and again, the nerves are obviously on my tees. Anyway, these night nurses come on, they get you up at 3 o'clock in the morning to make your bed, and you've got to go and get washed at 3. You know, and the way this one of them a right hard case, not a very nice woman at all, you can. She used to come in the morning and punch my leg to waken me up. Now, I've got one of these things on my bed in the hospital, you can, they cover a sort of shield, that keeps the blankets off your legs so it doesn't hurt you. This silly bosom used to come in and punch my knee. Time to get up. 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, oh, here's Nicky coming now. Oh, Nicky, didn't stand on my toes. You want to speak to Andrew? Oh, no, he's gone. He's just turned his back on you. Anyway, that's what happened. And of course, by the time you're all ready and washed, it's about 3:30. And you go back to sleep, you get your breakfast at 8 o'clock. So you've got 5 hours to pass. You know. So it's a wee bit difficult passing 5 hours. And the thing is that what about 7 o'clock? They come in and give me an injection. You cannot get back to sleep again. And then the next minute the doctor, you're shaking my ear. Wake up, Mr. Murchie, he says. We've got to check this and check that. And goodness, I said, I'm full of holes. One night I couldn't sleep with the pain, so I says, could you give me an injection for the pain? Guess where they stuck the needle? In my behind. I had needles in my ear and around my stomach. But that was in my behind, and I was sore. Again. It was one of the sisters that done it. But it really was sore, that injection. Mind, it didn't put the pain away, but it put me to sleep. I think it must have been sort of a chloroform injection. Again, just to keep you quiet. Poor guy beside me too, he was snoring every night. They brought him in for Anfantine for some checks. This guy was snoring. Jesus, his bed was going up and down with him snoring. And there was another guy away at the other end of the ward. He had all pipes stuck in him, you know. And he used to wheel the thing right through the other. He can, he's... Hello? That's your mother coming. You coming to see this television? The damn television, I call it.
It's something in the Fat Man. Who is it? Jake and the Fat Man? No. What? Something anyway. Joe Penny. I think it'll be quite good. Okay. Get over now. Love.
Anyway, where was I? I was telling you, there was another man. He was all... Again, he's got pipes in his ear and all that stuff you can like have in the hospital and that you can wheel about, you know, and one of these drip things. It's got wheels when you go to the toilet, you take it with you. He's walking up the ward shaking, this guy. Again, he's in days doing these drips in him, they can't cure him, and he's up shaking, this guy, snoring. Honestly, I've never heard somebody snoring so much. And actually, he's the father of one of the salesmen in the garage. And I spoke to his son about it. I said, that man's terrible. Oh, how does his wife get on with that? And really it is like one of these cartoons. And that is not exaggerating one wee bit. He goes on. And that was in the bed next to me. But however, I got my jag and I was sound asleep. When this old man drips and everything goes up and shakes him again. I thought that was a real Doctor in the House stuff. You know, real comedy. If they could show that on your TV, it would be a funny sort of item, I think. Otherwise, the nurses there are very good, except these night. Imagine getting you up at 3 in the morning, eh? And your breakfast at 8. Oh, dear. Again, in the weekend you're up to get a sleeping pill. It's sort of style of the things they do, you know. I mean, it doesn't sort of make sense. When you think about it, I mean, you didn't really need waking up to get a sleeping pill, did you? You wouldn't be sleeping in the first place if you needed a sleeping pill, would you? You'd be lying there worried about when the next nurse has got to come and shake you. You know, I mean, you get... So that's when you're washed and go back to your toilet. Oh, I used to have to get the wheelchair to the bathroom, to the toilet. And it was quite funny seeing me try to get off the wheelchair onto the toilet. Because, I don't know... Oh, here's 10 on my teeth again. Go. I don't know if you can, but if other hospitals are the same, but the hospitals here, the toilet's about 3 inches off the floor, you know, the bowl. It's alright if you're a wee bear and want to sit down, but you can if your legs, if you can't stand, or you can stand to a certain extent, and then you get down to that level where your knees are bending, and when you had your weight, you just crash down onto this toilet. And then try to get up against impossible, and the nurse has to come and lift me back onto the wheelchair. You know, and eventually I got adept. I took the side of the wheelchair off and It was alright if the brake was working. Yeah, you know, you could sort of bum yourself onto the chair for the toilet. But again, if the brake wasn't working on that thing, gee whiz, you end up with your bum on the flare, you know. I suppose you've heard of these things. The chair just goes away for you when you're trying. What can you do? You're lying there on the toilet floor, and you can't even stand up. You can't get on your knees. I'm going to tell you, it's a terrible feeling. And they've got a bell that's got a string from the roof. It's sort of, if you want them, you pull the string from the roof. But the thing is, if you're lying on the floor, you can't reach that string. So you could lie there forever if they didn't miss you, you know. They just make your bed and put somebody else in. And somebody more serious than you. Now I'll say cheerio again in case this tape just suddenly comes to an end. I hope it's been an amusing piece of nonsense I'm talking to you about. See, as you know yourselves, I mean, you're splashing water making recordings to us, and I mean, that does pass a wee bit time, so, I mean, I can't get Graham to take this into the bathroom, or I'd have a bath myself. I'll let you hear it, you can. But I had a bath yesterday, so I don't think I'll have a bath tonight. And goodness, I said it's awfully cold here, getting into the bathroom and getting out. It's not as cold as it would be in Scotland in the winter, mind. I mean, you get into the hardly. It's hot during the day, and I mean, you get on quite well. I'm doing quite well at my work, as I say. I'm sorry, one of the bosses. Evelyn was going to send you a paper with my name in it. And it wasn't my picture because I wasn't well at the time. I don't think the salesman wanted me beside him.